This place is also very particular for cinema lovers, loaded with erotic narrative. They could have left out some details. The food here is so good that it is even worth waiting in the queue. Now let's start with panino. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We are in Mantua today, a really cute and beautiful Italian city in the north, in Lombardia region. And today I found out that Mantua is actually a rather small city, and that was a surprise for me, that it has the population of only 50,000 people, because it does not feel like a small city, to be honest. The way it was constructed, the way the streets are structured with all the architecture is beautiful here. It does not feel like a small city at all, and I'm really curious to explore it with you. Let's go! Guys, look how lively it is. I absolutely like it. It's a Saturday, so it makes sense that there are lots of people in the city center, but I really like that feeling of life going on here, and I like that Mantua is starting to prepare the city for Christmas. I don't know if you can see the Christmas lights up here, but I think it's really cute. And I can see lots of nice bars and restaurants here, and hopefully I'll be able to show you something really interesting. I am not going to eat the local specialty today, but I'm gonna try something that I've tried before in my previous visits to Mantua and I loved a lot, and I hope to show it to you very, very soon. This church, called La Rotonda by the locals, has a very particular form. If you can see, it's circular, and it's not a common form for a church at all. It looks like a baptistry, but it is not. In fact, this church was built around the year 1000. Guys, can you just imagine how old is it? It was built around the year 1000 upon the order of Matilda of Tuscany that I've talked about a lot before in my previous videos. And I'm so excited to see it inside, because this is definitely one of the most peculiar churches I've ever seen. Let's go with me. Guys, apart from the history lovers, because this church is definitely a fantastic historical landmark and it's so beautiful inside, this place is also very particular for cinema lovers. I am personally a huge fan of the Medici series, a joint production of Netflix and Rai Italy, and in part it was filmed here in Mantua. I will probably make a whole other video about the Medici family, because I really love this historical family and their historical importance, and I absolutely love the series. However, obviously the main events were happening in Florence and were filmed in Florence as well, since the Medici family is one of the most important families in the Florentine history. However, part of the series was filmed here in Mantua. The scene of murdering of Galeazzo Maria Sforza was filmed here inside this rotonda, and I think this is so exciting to be able to visit these places. If you're a fan of any kind of a series or a film or even a book, you know what I'm talking about. Guys, honestly, I'm so excited to be here in Mantua today, and I absolutely love this city. I think it's so beautiful. And yeah, my little cinema-obsessed heart is honestly very happy today. Mantua is also a place where a very important Christian relic is being conserved. It is believed that Christ's blood is conserved in the church of Sant'Andrea right here in the center of Mantua, that it was brought here in the first century, and obviously it contributed to Mantua becoming a place of pilgrimage. And the Rotonda of San Lorenzo, where we went just before that, was a part of this pilgrimage, and it was built similarly to the Church of Saint Stephen in Bologna, in a similar way to the temple in Jerusalem. I don't know if you've seen the similarities, but I can definitely see how they are somewhat similar, the Church of Santo Stefano in Bologna and the Rotonda in Mantua, and I like it. I think it's nice. I don't know if this place is famous in Mantua for having local street food, but I found it some time ago when I visited Mantua for the first time, and I loved it. They have the paninis with local meat, and they also serve local wine, and I think this place is also very authentic and very nice, and the food here is so good that it is even worth waiting in the queue. So guys, today I'm having here a panino al cotechino, which is this type of meat, and it's very common in the northern Italy, and it smells really good. And I'll be having a glass of the local lambrusco later. Now let's start with panino. Guys, it's so good, so tasty, and I like that it's hot because today I think it's not cold, but still it's very good. And look how nice is it. There is lots of meat inside. I don't know if you can see how hot is it, but I like it. And also the bread is of an incredible quality. Now let's try the wine. Honestly, I have to say that I'm not a huge fan of lambrusco. I'm not a huge fan of red sparkling wine, although I like the white sparkling wine, but let's give it a try. It's good. Strangely enough, I like it. It's very light and very sweet, and it's good. Although it's still a little bit strange for me to be drinking a sparkling red wine, but it's still good. I like it. Another curious fact, guys, is that Shakespeare's Romeo had found refuge here in Mantua when he was exiled from Verona. And honestly, walking these streets, this very medieval, beautiful city, you can easily imagine him walking the same streets and maybe inquiring about his Juliet, especially since Mantua has the piazza that is called Piazza delle Erbe, the same name of one of the central piazzas of Verona. And I think this is also a nice parallel between the two cities. Now guys, I'm gonna show you Palazzota, one of the most famous places in Mantua, to be honest, and it's a very particular palace. You're gonna see why in just a few moments when we get inside. Before that, I'm just gonna tell you that this palace was commissioned to Giulio Romano, one of the most prominent artists of his age, by the Dukes of Gonzaga, and Giulio Romano was responsible for projecting and then painting the frescoes inside the palace, and these frescoes are exactly one of the most peculiar things about this palace. Now let's go with me! Mantua, thanks to the Gonazaga family and Giulio Romano, was turned into a new Rome in the 16th century, of course with some modifications that were not allowed in Rome, because the frescoes, the kind of frescoes that Giulio Romano painted, were definitely not allowed in Rome. And in fact, Giulio Romano, who was the student of Raphael, had to escape from Rome because of his drawings that he'd made previously. that were highly loaded with erotic narrative, and this was definitely not acceptable near the Vatican. So he escaped and found refuge in Mantua, and luckily the Dukes of Gonzaga were very happy to welcome him here. Some of the frescoes that we can see today here in Palazzota actually depict the history of the conquest of Federico II of Gonzaga. One of the frescoes, probably one of the most detailed ones, actually depicts Federico II together with his lover Isabella, as if they were Zeus and Olymp, the mother of Alexander the Great. In fact, the Duke, together with his lover, had a son who they called Alexander as well. And yes, the Duke made Giulio Romano depict all of his very personal details and personal conquests, although I personally think that they could have left out some details, if you know what I mean. However, it's still interesting because definitely these frescoes are very unusual for the 16th century Italy, and they are so perfectly conserved, and I absolutely like the fact that you can admire them here, and thanks to that you can actually learn more about the Mantua's past and the Gonzaga rule and how important art and culture were for Gonzaga. And yes, you know, this is definitely one of a kind thing that you have to see once you're in Italy. The Gonazaga family were the rulers of Mantua from the 14th and up to the 18th century, and they have turned this city into one of the most important in the political scene of Italy and of Europe. And they've also surrounded themselves with artists and philosophers and thinkers, and they basically have turned Mantua into a very important artistic center as well. And honestly, I think that today's heritage of this city is definitely a merit of that family. They have made a lot for this city, and I think, yeah, we are really lucky that we can admire all of this beauty today with all of the art and history and cultural heritage here. And Mantua is just a really lovely place. While not being that big, that huge of a city, it has a lot of places that you can visit, a lot of things to do, a lot of things to try, great food, nice people, and I think it could be a perfect weekend escape in Italy, especially if you live here. But even if you don't live here, consider including Mantua into your trip, into your itinerary in Italy, because this will be something different. This will not be something very touristic, something very well known. But on the other hand, Mantua has something very particular about it, and I absolutely love its vibe and its beauty. Guys, I'm not taking you inside the castle today because I don't really want this video to be that long, you know, like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, although I would really like an insight from you. If you could tell me whether you prefer longer videos or shorter videos, that would really help me, because I never know which is the right length, to be honest. However, come have a look at this palace garden because it's mesmerizing, absolutely. There is this very peculiar thing about some of the Italian cities, is that you should actually see them from the inside. I don't know if you know what I mean. There are lots of museums, there are lots of interesting houses, the house museums, art galleries, and other various historical and artistic places that are really, really interesting and beautiful, and they are so worthy to visit. But also, I really like when the city is also nice from the outside. Like Mantua is really nice from the outside. You can just walk around the city and enjoy its beauty, and you can also visit all of these amazing museums and places like this one, or Palazzota, where we went before. And all the same, you'll enjoy the city, you'll learn more about the city's history if you're into it, and you'll admire the beauty of this city. Because, you know, thinking of people creating all this beauty, architectural, artistic beauty, centuries ago, and being able to touch it, literally, is something that stuns me every time I travel, especially every time I travel in Italy, because history is everywhere here, and that's something that you cannot probably understand unless you come here. This proximity of history and art, of important history and art, is crazy. And that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this trip as much as I did, although it was pretty quick. But it's been a while since we've traveled together to various Italian cities, hasn't it? I really missed it, to be honest. Anyway, guys, don't forget to like, comment and share this video, because your support is so important for me. Each single comment, each single subscriber are so really important for me and for my channel. And if you're new here, welcome to Dramatically Expatic. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button to get the all notifications of all the upcoming videos and follow more of my Italian adventures. Please stick around, I'll be happy to see you here. Thank you for being here, guys, and enjoy your day.